Football with friends is fun as hell. My name is Alex Dunlap here with Cody Carpentier on a big Tuesday. Sorry for being a little bit late today. Had to do some internet resetting and stuff like that. So thank you guys for bearing with us. Have a bunch to get to today. We have an update from Cody's Behind the Enemy Lines column about Dre Quinn, the edge rusher from Georgia. Some stuff that Jason has in his 3-2-1. I wanted to talk about a couple little mini updates, I guess, mini nuggets that I put up on the board today, just about Anthony Hill and Trey Moore. So thought we might be able to go over those. And we never even got to talk yesterday. What I really wanted to talk about, Cody, was that stuff where with Josh Pate's preseason rankings. I wanted to get into that, but let's just start out with the Dre Quinn stuff. That's what you had in your column today.
So Dre Quinn, for those that maybe are short of memory, is the number 10th overall ranked edge rusher in the country from the Greater Atlanta Christian Norcross, Georgia, 6'4", 220-pound edge rusher who was in Texas just a couple of weeks ago on the 12th of April for an unofficial visit. He was the one that I believe said, like, he loves the area, he loves the downtown, he loves all this. He was there was a video of him floating around responding to that. He's got an official visit scheduled for June 13th. He's got six officials, Georgia Tech, which is in Atlanta where he's from, Clemson, Notre Dame, Georgia, Texas, and then he finishes up with Tennessee on the 20th of June.
Six official visits?
Yeah, he's already got one out of the way, though. He's already got the Georgia Tech one done. So there's one future cast in on Dre Quinn, and it does come from our very own Jason Sukamel, and it is for Texas. He put it in last week for Dre Quinn to be a Texas Longhorn. So my, theory and thoughts on Dre Quinn was, after the visit to Texas, I think was the same as Jason, where what he heard was like everything was kind of in line with, all right, this guy feels like, I think he was one, he was like, I love the town. I love everybody here. They already feel like teammates. I feel like I'm just like, talking to these people like they're my, friends and buddies and stuff, and he belongs there. So this was the update from the Georgia website. So for those that aren't familiar with my Behind the Enemy Lines column up on Orange Bloods, I go to kind of the upcoming, it was built last fall, based around like teams that Texas is going to play, kind of getting you ready for things that are happening in their neck of the woods, kind of getting a preview for it. So I got Oklahoma, Ohio State, Georgia, and A&M in this week's column. And the Georgia site had a very big column dedicated to just
Is this the Georgia rival site, or is this the On3? Are you starting to
use the Georgia rival
now? Okay.
This is the Georgia rival site, the supreme site, in my opinion, of the Georgias.
Okay. So their rival site's a good one.
Yes, Georgia. UGA Sports. Yeah, it's a good one. All right. So the report on him was, there's nothing but official visits now. First one, like I just listed off, I listed all of them off. The first one he's got is Clemson coming up. He added, I love the fact that they put guys in the league. This is a football school, so they know that they get all the attention. You're on live television. You're the most streamed games. Kirby Smart and their their edge coach, Uzo Deribi, has made one thing clear to Dre Quinn. He and Kirby, they both said, I'm a big priority for them. Quinn said, they really make me feel like a factor for sure. They really make me feel good, and they are a factor for sure, because I know it's a powerhouse program, and to hear that from Georgia, that is big. So I really take that into consideration as well. They feel like they're in a good spot with Dre Quinn. I feel like Texas thinks they're in a good spot with Dre Quinn. Like I said, Jason put in a future cast on Quinn. But again, you're fighting with an in-state guy who lives in Atlanta. I know Athens is in Atlanta, but it's right down the street. He's also considering Georgia Tech and schools around that area, including Clemson. So they had a whole column dedicated to him. I just took out some snippets from it. But it seemed like he had a pretty good visit there at Georgia.
How hard is it going to be to pull this dude out of Georgia? I watched and also he's listed as 6'4", 228. Does he look 6'4" to you?
I think he's 6'4".
Okay. Was it 6'4", 228? I was refreshing myself on him earlier.
6'4", 220. I comped him to SEC freshman edge rusher last year, Dylan Stewart.
Oh,
from
well,
from South
gosh,
Carolina.
that would be some kind of get. I don't
I
know,
I
man.
I mean, that's the I you know, so we can talk about Richard Wesley here in a second, but I have Wesley from Sierra Canyon in Chatsworth, California, ranked back to back at edge with Quinn, Dre Quinn, who's from Georgia, of course. Wesley more of a DN kind of classification for me, but Quinn right there at edge, right behind him on his heels. Wesley committed to Oregon over the weekend. We can talk about that here in a second, but I think Quinn would be top of the line as far as gets go at the edge position. I got him ranked as the number 2 edge for me amongst all the guys that they've offered.
Gosh, man, he is so high cut. His legs are so long.
You know what I put for his best trait?
What?
Like his special thing. Like most of these guys, it's like, oh, you know, good diagnostics, good range, or like hit power or length. Occasional first step is great. I just put freaky.
Yeah, he's got this. I mean, dude. What I like about him is,
See his tight end work.
yeah, I'm looking at. Gosh, he can catch and he can also block. He's got some good highlights here. He's certainly, dude. He looks most at home. Gosh, he's got some get off too. I just think for a guy that's, we always talk about the old kind of the old Doberman big paws kind of thing, where it's like whenever they look like they still have some filling out to do, that they're a little bit clunky with the paws that are too big and always trip. They're cute the way they trip over themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
as far as the not saying he's cute, like the puppies are cute little puppies, right? The Whenever I watch him, I'm like, he seems like he's at this point in his development, he's too kind of not gangly, but kind of too long, and I don't know, just he doesn't look like he should be this coordinated, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like I love the way, because his get off is awesome, and sometimes he'll be at the 3 technique or he'll be at the 4 technique and he'll penetrate up B gap, and when he does, he has this get off to where sometimes it's, I don't know if these are offensive linemen are too slow, the guys that he's going against, but I mean, he's playing in big stadiums, and this is in the Atlanta area. I I always get mixed up about the kind of, what schools there are the ones that we need to discount and stuff like that. But man, whenever he shoots the gap and he gets up into
They're
the
5A.
okay, so when he shoots the gap, gets up into the defensive backfield, and sometimes he does just completely unperturbed, and then you just love the way he can break down, reset, redirect, and blast through. It's just like he shows a level of coordination that you just wouldn't really expect from a guy that looks like he's got these long legs, he's got all this, it looks like he's going to fill out so much more. I he's a dip he, He's a different kind of. He's honestly, if you're going to compare him to how big is Zena Yamusalo? Is he about the same size? I'm trying to think if there's a guy that Texas has that looks like him. I'm not sure that Texas has a player that looks like this, that's going to fill out like this. Not on the current roster,
Yeah, that's probably a good call.
because it's like, what is Zena's height and weight? This is Texas roster 2024.
6'2", 245.
Okay, so that's not right.
6'5", 259. That's what he's listed at right now.
He's 6'5", 259.
How come I thought he was like 6'2" or 6'3"? So
Well, when you said that, I was a little bit surprised because Zena's tall.
his rivals is 6'4", 220. So nails 6'4",
I
220.
mean, so yeah.
Literally the same exact height and weight on rivals.
So
Each of these guys.
okay, so I think that would kind of be the analog. This guy.
And Zena was the number 9 ranked edge rusher in the country, 192nd overall in the country. Quinn is the 10th overall ranked edge rusher in the country, 104th overall.
We have somebody in the chat who's the Colby in the chat saying, "Have y'all watched this O-line kid that committed to Miami? Rumors going crazy. I'm getting $2.5 million." So he's talking about Jackson Cantwell.
Yeah.
$2.5 million NIL. His family got in a beachfront house.
I haven't seen the beach house thing. I have not seen that. What I have seen is that the number ballooned potentially up to 5 over the first 2 years. And the Ohio State
Okay.
guys, are throwing a temper tantrum. They're like, I saw one quote. It was like getting all retweeted by these Ohio State people. It was like, paying a tackle $5 million for 2 years is like buying a crap ton of cereal and then waiting to buy your milk for 2 years or something stupid like this. And I was like, listen, dude, all I can tell you
How
is
much
that
are they
this
paying
kid.
Jeremiah Smith?
Exactly. So, but again, it's a tackle. But in reality, it's like, look what Cristobal's done the last 2 stops with tackles, right? He's got Penei Sewell,
Yeah.
probably the best tackle in football now, and then Francis Moyago, who's going to be a top 10 pick next year, who's at Miami right now. It's like this kid is looking at that. He's going, what are we talking about here? Ohio State's tackle coach or offensive line coach just went to the NFL. He's gone. So,
I
Ohio
thought that
State.
came. I thought it was Georgia was in.
It was, but Ohio State fans were in it. They had a hat on the table, so
No.
they of course felt like they had a chance.
Yeah. Here's my cool question with the whole Cantwell thing, or with any of these guys, or just as far as 2026 is concerned in general. How can you offer that much money over 2 years?
What do you
Because
mean?
isn't it going to change? Isn't everything going to change? How can you have contracts that have money to be doled out in the future, whenever the whole structure of how these contracts work could be fundamentally changed once the House, after July 1st, if the House settlement goes through?
Well, let me get you in on a little secret here. We talked about this last week. None of these contracts are binding. So I think that works both ways, right? So if something does happen and that there is a cap made, and there's something, maybe it's blown apart and they have to renegotiate. Maybe he's a portal guy, or maybe he's grandfathered in, or maybe they tell you can only spend X amount of money, and this deal happens this year, but he's got a second year on it, and that money, oh, we're not able to pay him because we only have $12 million.
Yeah, but what are you going to do?
He gets it from X, Y, and Z, and it's
Or,
under the table, back how we talked about it would be.
or it's just like, I wish you could just snap your fingers and make everything be right in the world with just saying, like, look, you guys are getting paid now. You're getting paid a ton of money now. We know we've had this contract for this, but there's a new law. There's a new kind of sheriff in town. So you're getting paid this. It's the maximum amount that we can give any player. It's not going to be $2.5 million though. Again, it's the max we can give you, say, is $1.1 million. And that's the most that we can give the highest paid guy on our team via the money from the salary cap. Right. So, and that's going to be that's basically going to be the same thing anywhere you go. So if you want to get in the portal and go make the same, have you not liked it here at Miami? Like, do you want to just go somewhere else just because to make the same amount of money? Do you want to go to a state where they have income tax? Like, if those are things that are interesting to you, you can do them. But we sure would love to keep you here. We feel like we've done a good job developing you. You're on a great path. You don't have to learn a whole new system. You're a starter. You've already have the scouts have already come by. They're talking about you. Like, I'm a offensive line coach by trade. It's like, this is kind of what I do. I mean, I think it's kind of smart to say we'll give you $5 million over 2 years and then crawfish out of it by some kind of thing like that next season.
Yep.
Snaky business this college football is right now.
One question, because a year ago, like I remember having conversations with you, like back when we thought it was crazy to even bring up CBA and all this stuff, and it was like, man, well, hypothetical. What about it? It's like now these are all like realistic things. Hypothetical here. You said, and the reason I thought this is because you said snap your fingers and everything's just right in the world. You know how much money the NFL makes, right? And all these NFL teams make.
I don't know the exact amount.
But ballpark, they make millions and millions, right? Like, snap your fingers, and the NFL doesn't buy the NCAA, but the NFL buys the idea of the SEC and the idea of the Big Ten. Now they probably couldn't buy those naming rights and stuff because it belonged to the NCAA, I'm sure, things like this. But theoretically, imagine if all these teams just kind of like SEC and Big Ten went off on their own, right? And made a super conference. That's kind of like that's out there, right? In the ethos. Like that's a potential thing that could happen. What if they all just went off and curated their own league and it was overseen by the NFL and it was just, kind of like when you're bought by a company and you just kind of take in all of their things and you migrate over. It's like, what if again, I understand, but just hear me out here. Hypothetical world, the NFL doesn't buy 64 teams, but they buy the rights to overseeing 64 teams, and they create a salary cap, TV deals, all this stuff that they've already done. Because remember, everybody's trying to create what the NFL has as far as like the UFL, XFL, all this crap. I understand college football is a whole different ball of wax, and they make a ton of money, and they could make a ton more money. But I just think about that, where you could think, all right, what if the NFL just stepped in here and actually said, this is how you do contracts. This is how you do CBA. This is how you do TV deals. We'll take it from here.
Yeah, I just no.
Why not?
Because, man,
I understand
it's football. It's just
not made me as hell, but it's not college football anymore, Alex. It's professional football.
No, but you still like. Look, I still see it. I still see it as like if you're an alumni of the university or you're a student at the university, you're a fan, you're going to have a connection to that player or that team or that coach or the outcome of that game. That's just different from anybody that's just a fan of like the New York Jets or something like that. That player walks the same halls that you walk or that you walk.
What does that do with it though?
No, it's I think that the governing body of college football, I don't think.
What's the governing body?
Well, right now it's the conferences and the NCAA.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the NCAA.
Well, I think that the NCAA at this point is pretty toothless for sure. But and look, I hate the NCAA. I've said for years that I said it. I was saying this back in 2010 when people looked at me like I had four eyes. When I'm like, it should be abolished.
Mm-hmm.
It's a travesty. It's like it should be. It's a bureaucratic, blood sucking red tape nightmare. It's terrible. But I'm not saying I have the answers. Inviting the NFL in, it's like, I just don't know. It's like having the NCAA.
I don't think it'd be about inviting them in. I think
it's like inviting in instead of, letting in your Pomeranian or something from outside. That's the NCAA. You're like your little king. What's that king? The Prince Albert Spaniel or what's that thing? King Carl?
King
I forgot what it is.
King Charles Cavalier.
Yeah, your King Cavalier Spaniel. It's like letting that thing in, or that's what the NCAA is. It's like you open up that door and it's a pack of wolves. If it's the NFL, dude, it's just different. It's just different. I think you could have the NFL consult.
I think it'd be the right move. I mean, look at all the GMs that are already coming in. Like there was a scout hired yesterday. What the hell's his name? Is it Craig Sarkisian, who's an area scout for the Browns, was hired as a GM for the Northwestern? Like an area scout from the NFL was hired as a GM.
Some of those, there's some area scouts that are pretty. There's some area scouts that are pretty sharp. I mean,
Christian Sarkisian, sorry, Bengals area scout. My point is though, it's like that's a scout. He's not. I understand scouts. There's, that's how a lot of these guys got their name in there. But the NFL is already putting its footprint on the college football landscape.
I guarantee you that he's an area scout. That's like a Mike Band type of area scout, like he was he was the kind of guy that came in there and he helped them develop an analytic system, and he came in and did all the he was a superstar area scout the same way Band was, and that's why the NFL comes and hires Band, right?
Yeah.
And for the people might not, so I'm referencing our friend Mike Band. He used to work. He worked with us forever at Roster Watch, and then he actually went to go be a actual NFL scout, and now he works for NFL and he heads up the next gen stats. Anyway, some of these guys that are area scouts, I'm just saying, are super sharp. I don't think that's that odd, especially for a GM job like Northwestern. But yeah, it's certainly going that way as far as Cantwell. Dude, I've definitely watched him. He's sick. I mean, they're getting a really good player there, and somebody that probably start day one. I was speaking of starting on day one, Cody. I saw something interesting in Jason's column, the 3-2-1 about Aaron Thomas.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if you saw this. I'm not sure if everybody has been to Texas Beef Traders. I know a lot. I know a lot of you going to Texas Beef Traders. I hear about it all the time. Darren says that this show has been it's been just an epic driver of business there to them, and we're just so happy about it. And the thing about it is, it's aggregate, right? You go into Texas Beef Traders once because you hear me or Cody talk about it, or you see the pictures we put up of our steaks, and once you go in, you get your 10% off. You get to get that meat that's so pure and clean and packed with the most delicious protein without any vaccines or antibiotics or steroids or anything like that. It's local. It's good. It's never gonna get slapped with a tariff. It comes from 90 miles up the road. It's like compounding interest for them because they know once you get in there, you're coming back. It's just a lock that you're going to be back. Like that's how good the meat is at Texas Beef Traders. And so I would recommend you go in. If you can't make it into Lakeway, I would recommend going in on a Friday night or Saturday night, just early evening. Go there, have a beer, hang out. Darren will cook you up some food. Thomas will cook you up some food. Shay, if he's up, like cross your fingers and hope Shay's up there because he's an actual catering cook. Not that the other guys can't cook, but Shay will cook you something that looks like, you'd be like, what is this? This is some kind of gourmet chef. Texas Beef Traders, TexasBeefTraders.com. And if you can't make it in, just call them, get your 10% off. Tell Darren where you live. He'll just bring it to your house. All right. Texas Beef Traders. Make sure and go check those guys out. What I thought was interesting, Cody, that Jason had in his column, 3-2-1, was his name's Aaron Thomas, right? The guy from Arizona, same high school as Christian Clark, offensive tackle. We talked about him last week. I think that I think he's got to put on some weight, but he moves just really well in all directions. I think he's going to be really good. And he's, for as tall as he is, he's just isn't as much of a waist bender as you would generally think. I really like him. I think he's a take all the way. I think Texas should go after him hard. I think they should get him. And it's like he set up his OV, dude. Like he's coming in. Things are seeming to move pretty quick. I did ask Grok, by the way, 22 billion per year for the NFL. I say as I close out this tab and try to get to the other one. What he was saying was that let me get back up to it.
You're funny.
As I'm closing out tabs to try to get to this, I remember I forgot to tell you. All right, so here's what he said. This is about Coach Flood. Okay, that was my first time meeting him. When he came to the school, we had a long conversation about the school and the program, and then he offered me. Thomas said, I was excited. He said, I just know they have a good track record. Thomas said of Texas, they win a lot of games and get linemen in the league. They just had Kelvin Banks drafted in the first round. Coach Flood told me they play a lot of freshmen on their offensive line too. Is that true?
A lot?
I mean, it's not. It hasn't been a lot.
Did DJ
Kelvin Banks?
Kelvin, but did DJ?
It's been Cole Hudson. I'm trying to think what other freshmen they've played.
Did DJ?
Not really. Not till the end of the season. Not till the end of the 2022 season.
But he did.
Don't you remember that Cole Hudson played? But I mean, Cole played most of that season.
Yeah, that was his 700 snap season.
So, just try to. Am I being stupid and missing somebody? I don't think I am.
Huh.
I could foresee them in the future having to possibly play new freshmen if they land some of these studs that they're. I think like guys like Ojo need to play as a freshman.
What is a turn like Aaron Thomas and Max Wright do for you? If let's say you get an Aaron Thomas to commit in June, and you have these two monster tackles.
Well, I mean, you got to get Ojo then. He's a little bit different type of cat. He's not quite as tall as the rest of those guys, but I think his arms are almost as long.
I understand this, but here's my question. If you get Thomas, who right now is ranked as the 38th tackle in America, but as we talked about with Maxwell Wright, who's now Maximus Wright, who's now the number 9 overall tackle in America, according to Rivals. At one point, Max Wright, who's 6'7", 285, Aaron Thomas, who's 6'7", 275. At one point, Maximus Wright was not ranked last March. This March, he was ranked 140. Now he's ranked 117 overall, back down to 122. Like, he had a significant jump. And so he's viewed differently. We could see a jump from Aaron Thomas because it feels like he's maybe not the most seen tackle right now.
Yeah, and I think you're right.
Here's my thought is one of my notes in him, the last sentence I wrote, literally no BS, high end traits - sleeper day one starter. Literally wrote that in my write up on the guy. And he needs to gain weight. But here's my thought. If you get an Aaron Thomas and a Maximus Wright to sign, obviously Maximus Wright's already committed. Let's say Aaron Thomas
commit. You need more.
What did I say? Oh, no, but I understand this, but let me get to my point. Does that allow you to say, all right, well, Jackson, and here brings us all together with this Jackson Cantwell thing. $5 million, right?
I don't think
Manuel Iheanacho is going to get probably in the ballpark to go to Oregon.
None of these guys are going to get it. They're about to get.
Correct. But if Cantwell goes to Miami and Iheanacho goes to Oregon, Ohio State's sitting there, and who's Texas battling for Felix? Ohio State.
Yeah. We think that, and that's what a lot of people who are recruiting him think.
And so, well, that's been publicly posted as well. But my question is, does it allow you to, as Texas, having Nick Brooks and having Brandon Baker that are going to be on the roster next year?
Mm-hmm.
Does that allow you to say, all right, we got Maximus Wright, we got Aaron Thomas potentially. Now we can focus on getting a couple of more interior guys. They got Nick Robertson, and you can spend that money at D tackle.
Well, you need. I think
you can pivot your focus. Yes, it would be amazing to have. It would be amazing to have Felix Ojo. But let's say you don't get Ojo, you get Turntine, and you maybe Crampin.
Yeah,
there's no Ojo. Would you be okay with an Aaron Thomas, and then you save the money and potentially spend it on defensive tackle?
Well, here's the thing. It's not my money, so I don't care.
Well, you have to think about it from that perspective, though. Otherwise, your analysis is moot because you're like, you have to think about it from that perspective. Like, there's money that has to be spent.
I don't think
you can't spend $5 million here and $5 million here.
This is the 1 year where it actually doesn't matter. I think that this is 1 year where it's just like, just go to the mattresses, man. You're not going to be able to. I could be wrong. I don't think you're going to be able to do it again. I don't think you're going to be able to do it again. I think this is the last year of it. This is and to be quite frank, dude, it's gone too far. $5 million in a beachfront house.
I don't know about the beachfront house. I can't say that's committed. That's for sure.
Gave Carson Beck $2 million for a season.
Hey man, they're trying to bring it back.
Has he even thrown a football yet?
He was yesterday. They came out and said that he was confirmed to start throwing for summer workouts.
Give a guy coming off of Tommy. Is that Tommy John surgery?
I think something like that. Yeah,
a guy coming off Tommy John surgery who at his best is a dude who, you can probably go. You can win a title with him. He's not a win because of him guy.
Well, they wanted Quinn Ewers more than him.
Quinn could have made beachfront house.
Now he
And I mean, he might.
now he's in an Airbnb.
I mean, now he's down in Miami. Either way,
Probably not on the beach though.
not on the beach yet. I just think that I back to what I'm saying. Back to what I was saying. It's gone too far. It's gone too far. Everyone knows it. If you get the toothpaste, like it's gonna have to get back in the tube, sort of somehow. These guys are gonna keep getting paid. They're gonna get paid a lot of money still, but it's gone too far. It's unsustainable. It's not gonna work. I think this is it. I think 2026 is it. You can write it down. That's my prediction. Clip it. Hit me on X if we get around to 2027 and we're talking about guys signing in July for $5 million. I think they're going to say, no, we're constrained by an actual kind of salary cap here. We can work with you for the extra NIL money, but once you do that, you're going to have to go through the Deloitte, or is it Deloitte? I forgot whatever the consulting firm, Robert Half Management. I forgot what it was, but you're gonna have to go through them, and you and your agent can talk about it, and you can decide. They can decide whether it's fair market or not. But to be quite honest, Jackson, it's generally quarterbacks and stuff to get these Red Bull and Dr. Pepper multi-million-dollar NIL deals, and we're not going to be able to give them any more for you to go sign autographs over at Big Red Motors in downtown Norman. You know what I'm saying? We just can't do it. So I think that'll be that. So for this year, I don't say reallocate anything. I say spend the money to get Ojo, spend the money for on D line. You need D line. You need homegrown D line if you're Texas. I feel like they really, really lucked out with the Murad Watson coming into the transfer portal late. They seem to. I'm going to have a note in the war room that seems like people think that they've hit well with Cole Brevard, but I mean, it's like you're just taking these shots, man, in the portal on these defensive linemen, these Hero Canoes and these Levon Johnsons and these Travis Shaws, these types of players. And look, they're going to have to play, but
you know what I want?
They need more. What do you want?
I think Dylan Berryman from Louisiana, the D tackle.
Oh yeah, we'll go get that guy.
He's a no matter what for me. I know he might not be up there for most people because he's not a number one ranked kid in the country at D tackle or anything, but
he's a spark plug.
He's a no matter what.
Yeah. All right, Dylan Berryman, no matter what. We still got Mark Bowman. Is he still locked into Georgia?
Let me look and see if there's been any update video.
For me, for Texas, it's Mark Bowman no matter what. Mark Bowers.
Mark Bowers. That's pretty dirty. 12 hours ago, there was an update from Spiegelman on Bauman, and it was looks like their new quarterback, Jared Curtis, has been recruiting Bauman. And Caden Pratho, the other tight end that's from Bowden, Georgia. So the number 1 and number 3 ranked tight ends
from Bowden, Georgia. It even sounds like Bowers and Bowman.
No, Mark Bowman's from Mater Dei, but Caden Prothro is from Bowden, Georgia.
Bowden, Bowers, Bowman. It's all coming together.
That would be too maniacal if Georgia got the number 2 and the number 3 ranked edge rusher.
Do you think what?
Or not edge rusher, sorry, tight end.
Oh. Do they already have okay. They already have the number 3 ranked tight end in the class?
No, I said Prothro and Bowman, 2 and 3.
But not in the same class. Not in the same class, right?
Correct. They're both in the same class. They're both in this 2026 class.
Oh, so they're not going to get Bowman. He's not going to go there with that guy there. Texas,
they're recruiting them both pretty hard.
Go to the mattresses this season.
Didn't they get Darnell Washington and Eric Gilbert? They're the same class, wasn't it?
I don't know. Come on, man. Yeah, I got
Eric Gilbert, Darnell Washington, number 1 and 2.
2 elite tight ends in the same club. Forget it, dude. I mean, I guess he's like at least there's a sliver and a crack. Mattresses. Hey, do you think that
We need to talk about these rankings.
do you think that Josh Pate's crazy for making Oklahoma number 10 in his post spring rankings?
Is that one of the most? Is that like? Did that catch you off guard? Like more than the fact that they're ahead of Georgia?
Ahead of Georgia. And I think deep down Pate's a Georgia kind of. I think he grew up a Georgia fan.
He's from Georgia.
Yeah.
He grew up in the heat of Georgia. Yeah. He says so. His tweet. I got to see if I don't know if I can find it. I don't know how much he's tweeted. In the
I mean, his reasoning was sound. I think with him just saying like they've had good recruiting classes and bringing in Arbuckle plus Mateer. You know, that's. Yeah, I think he felt that they were just a quarterback away.
Well, he said what he said. He said, so I can't find it now because he replied to way too many people. But basically, what he said was they brought in the OC-QB connection, which we've seen historically work. We saw it even as close to last year with Diego Pavia. And then he says the stacked up multiple top 10 recruiting classes, which is, I mean, they both have legs. The problem is top 10 recruiting classes, and they've also had how much turnover? They've lost like 36 players the last 2 years in the portal. So how much of those classes are still there? That's my question.
Yeah, that's a good point. They've had some portal losses, and you think about like all these top 10 classes. Like, well, how much did it buoy the one class to have Jackson Arnold in it? Without Jackson Arnold, is that top
Bingo.
5 class? Is that probably like number 12 or something in the nation? Like those super top heavy ones. It's interesting, man. Ahead of Georgia.
So for those listening that don't know, don't follow Josh Pate, but should. He has Clemson 1, Texas 2, Penn State 3, Bama 4, LSU 5, Notre Dame 6, Oregon 7, Ohio State 8, Florida 9, and Oklahoma at 10, followed by Georgia, Miami, Arizona State, A&M at 14, Illinois at 15, Ole Miss at 16, Georgia Tech at 17, South Carolina, Michigan, and Texas Tech. Here is a couple of stats from this. 9 teams I just listed in the top 20 are from the SEC. Texas, Alabama, LSU, Florida, Oklahoma, Georgia would be your top 6. So in the world where we had a 16-team playoff and 4 auto bids, you would still have 3 versus 6. So in a playoff format, that would be LSU versus Georgia, and then Florida versus Oklahoma for a play-in to get into the tournament. 5 Big Ten teams, 3 ACC teams, 2 Big 12 teams, and 1, obviously, independent with Notre Dame. 9, though. And then also in the top 10, there was 5 SEC teams in the top 10. Hashtag our conference.
Well, you certainly do love to see it. I can't wait for SEC media days. I'm pumped. We were talking today about week 1 and about how I forgot what the matchup even was. Who's Florida State playing week 1? Alabama.
Yes.
And then we get LSU and Clemson, and we get Texas, Ohio State. Are you kidding me, dude? I can't wait, man.
Look at this.
If I didn't have little kids who I feel like they're just growing up so fast, and I love them so much, and I want to spend all the time I could with them. I would, if not for that one thing, I would absolutely be happy to put my life on fast forward, and just say like, just put me there right now. That's how hungry I am for football season.
Is that LSU Clemson game going to be the biggest game? Not with Texas. This is all ESPN games right here. ESPN ABC. Week 0 and week 1. So there's only one game here for week 0. It's Iowa State, Kansas State. But then week 1 is the Boise, South Florida, all the way through TCU, North Carolina.
Gosh, we're going to be able to talk about what happened in the Boise game on Final Takes.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a Monday nighter.
We're going to get to make prize picks on like Haynes King and stuff like that for Friday night on Final Takes. It's gonna be killer, dude. Just killer.
Hey, one more thing before we get out of here, because I mean we could talk about this on Final Takes, but this came out today. I got the email from my trusty Clemson friends, but ESPN now has they're doing a new ESPN only what do they call it, like Netflix.
Yeah.
What's it called? Direct to consumer.
Okay.
So it's good. You'll be able to like they have ESPN Plus, but you'll be able to like get ESPN. So you'll get ESPN, ABC, ESPN2, all the ESPN stuff for $22 a month. Too much? Not enough.
I don't even. This is so crazy. This money just flies out of my account every month. I have no idea what it's going towards. I think what's going to happen is these.
You're probably not going to get ESPN Plus though with this. Probably just ESPN. Like you'll get ABC.
But
So
dude, you know how it is, man. You sign up for one of these giant cockamamie idiotic cell phone services like Verizon, and like they're like, oh, that'll be like $169 a month, but you get Paramount for free, and you get all this stuff. You're like, I don't even know what I get for free. Apple Music, I'm like, well, gosh, I already have my whole playlist on Spotify. It's like I don't even use the Apple Music. Why are you charging me $169? I think I'm going to just sort of have a lot of that stuff. So I don't know what to compare it to. I truly don't know what the normal rate is. $22 to watch ABC? Is that what's going to be true?
I guess I was wrong. So this is directly from ESPN's PR. I thought it was 22. It looks like it's 29. Let's see. It's right here. It's a new direct-to-consumer offering to be singularly branded ESPN Unlimited plan, priced at $29.99 per month. Enhanced ESPN app offers new features, personalized fan experience. It sounds like it's supposed to be just straight up like ESPN. Like it's like you can get Netflix, you can get this, you can get that, you can get ESPN. ESPN's releasing their own package just in time for the NFL, of course, and college football. Well, but it'll be just like everything else. You have to buy Peacock, you got to buy Amazon Prime. Now you're gonna have to buy, unless you have, and I don't know what this does. I don't know what this means. This all happened like 4 hours ago. I don't know if this means that like YouTube TV is gonna not have ESPN on it anymore.
Well, they better lower my subscription price, because that's why I buy it.
But that'd be the thing is like
I buy it for work. There's nothing else. There's nothing else I watch besides this stupid game show called The Floor,
which you can probably watch on YouTube for free.
No, I think it's on NBC. I could probably watch it on the Peacock app. So it's so stupid.
Exactly.
I have no idea. Cody, I have no idea how any of this stuff works. I just know that for sure. I know this one thing for sure is that I'm going to have to buy it, and they can charge whatever they want because I have to have it for my job. And thankfully I can have my accountant write it off. All right. Now you can email us fwfemails@gmail.com. You can find us on X at Alex Dunlap NFL, at Cody Carpentier. Thanks so much to Poncho Outdoors. Thanks so much to Texas Beef Traders. And of course, we couldn't get out of here without saying so much thanks to our great friends over at Specs.
It's tequila time. Who's ready for a margarita? Shake things up all month long with discounts on Blancos, Reposados, and Añejo tequila during Specs Tequila Sale.
All right. Again, thanks so much for being here, guys. Please like the show. Please subscribe to the channel. If you have a friend that might like the show, just send them the show, man. Just text it to them, send it to their email, let them know. Let them know, hey, man, these are my guys. I watch them every night at 6. Or if you're watching this later, which 99% of you will, just say, hey, these guys are always on YouTube. Just go subscribe to their channel, or just go check them out. And then if you're one of those people, it's your first time watching, thank you for being here. We are very respectful of your time. We like to get in, get out, talk football, not mess with all this other stuff. All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll be here every night, or every weeknight. See you at 6 p.m. or see you whenever it is that you tune in. All right. Love you guys. God bless you. For Cody, I'm Alex. We're done.